Jimmy Holmes.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go.
So when I was pregnant with Jimmy, we went in and got an ultrasound, and we had a few different pictures taken, and one picture, which I framed, and I put it away for safekeeping, and I put it away somewhere so safe that I can't find it. But we'll never forget, it's a sideways view of Jimmy, and he's like this. And it looks just like a microphone, and there's like a shadow or something, and it actually looks like a sideburn. And we used to always joke, because when I was pregnant, we would always listen to Elvis. And so we would joke and say, we got a little Elvis. And he was just singing away in the womb. I think Jimmy's love for Elvis started when he was very, very little. He would watch different concerts, Elvis concerts, and he'd want to perform, and he wouldn't, his eyes wouldn't leave the TV. He was just, mesmerized by it. And then he would get a baseball bat and stand on the couch and sing, and he knew every word, except My Way. He would sing it My Bay, because he was about 3 years old, I think, and realized then he definitely loved Elvis and was mesmerized by everything about him.
When Jimmy was a kid, my favorite jumpsuit that he had when he was a child or when he was a kid, it would have been the Fringe. The Fringe was always a special jumpsuit to me.
My favorite jumpsuit when Jimmy was little was the Cisco Kid, red and black Cisco Kid. And when he got older, I had B&K surprised him with a adult red and black Cisco Kid. And I love it when he wears it now. When he performs, sometimes he surprises me. He doesn't tell me for a show what he's going to wear, and then he comes out in the red and black Cisco Kid, and I love that. So that is still my favorite suit of his.
Nowadays, my favorite jumpsuit that Jimmy wears, probably the eyelet suit or the aloha suit. Yeah, back in the day, I performed as Elvis, and Jimmy was my little Elvis with me. We did a tribute, or I did a tribute, and Jimmy was the little guy with me with the Elvis jumpsuit, and that was so special. Nowadays, I go to Jimmy shows, and I am just mesmerized by what he is doing now, and I'll always remember that little boy that was that little shadow of mine wherever I went in Memphis at the contests or anywhere else, and he was always there by my side. And nowadays, we're there a lot, but nowadays I'm Jimmy Holmes' dad, and it's a very special thing to be. When Jimmy told me he wanted to start doing Elvis as an adult,
I was
very surprised, but I was very excited because I never pushed Elvis on him.
In September of 2020, I think it was, when he told us that he was thinking about doing Elvis, it was a surprise. So we went downstairs, and he put on a little show for us, and it was like, wow, this is really something. Like, how long have you been practicing? But it hadn't been very long that he had been practicing, and we were really impressed. And then it went from there, it exploded.
So today we just got all of the papers, all of the forms, everything for Ultimate this year. And right now it is time to do the ever important step of choosing your songs and putting them in the order of preference, because what they do in the Ultimate in EPE is you get 1 through 12 for round 1. So you put your number 1 song that you want the most, number 1, and then you rate them in order from 1 to 12 of what you'd like. So basically your top 12 songs that you think you do the best. And then from there, they choose the performance order, and you get your songs based on your order. So if someone's before you and they get your first song, guess what? That's gone because you can't do any repeats. So your first song is gone, so then they would choose your second one. Everyone's kind of going for the same songs unless you're a 50s Elvis, 68 Elvis. But once you get to the 70s, all the guys kind of do the same 10 songs, so it's kind of hard. But we're gonna start here with round 1. We're gonna do both rounds and choose our songs. So the final list here that we came up with, obviously Poke Salad, Suspicious Minds, first 2 on the list, trying to get a mover for the first round. Then after that, obviously if you don't have a mover, you want a power song. Everyone knows that. So 3rd on the list, I've Hurt. 4 on the list, Bridge Over Troubled Water. I love doing that song. It's a powerful song. People love it, can make it huge. Number 5, another mover, You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin'. That's a great song. Audience loves it. You can kind of, it's a good, powerful vocal song too. So you can sing and hit the notes and, do your fair share of moving and playing to the crowd and stuff. 6, My Way. Obviously that one is all-time classic Elvis song. Everyone loves it. Very powerful, especially if you could wear the Aloha, kind of, make it iconic. Number 7, I Can't Stop Loving You. And that's another one that's a really energetic mover and also really powerful vocals, and you can extend the ending a lot and play around with the crowd and really make it fun. I did that one a couple of years ago in the final, in the top 10. Number 8, Unchained Melody. You can't play the piano in the contest. They don't let you. You can only have an instrument if it's a prop. So you can have a guitar, but you can't plug it in. So with the piano, you can't play it. But it's still a powerful song, even if you're not playing the piano. Shows off the vocals a lot. So I have that on there as number 8. Number 9, The Impossible Dream. Another power song. These are all what everyone else is gonna be going for too. So it just depends on what the order is on what I'll get. Number 10, You Gave Me a Mountain. Iconic, powerful. Number 11, Rags to Riches. That was the one I got last year when I had to send in an extra 5. And I really liked it. So I'm putting it on the list again. And then number 12, to finish it out, I have What Now My Love. That's an iconic Aloha song. If I would get that one, I would probably wear the Aloha for that. Just because that was one of the pinnacle songs in the Aloha special. But those are the 12. So you got Poke Salad, Suspicious Minds, Hurt, Bridge, Lovin' Feelin', My Way, Can't Stop Loving You, Unchained, Impossible Dream, Mountain, Rags to Riches, and What Now My Love. Now it's time to move on to round 2. So in the way they do it, it's a little bit different. Normally, in contests, you don't send in your final songs until you made the finals, or you don't choose them until then. But they like to do it a little bit different, where they have you send in both your lists for the first round and the second round before you know like what you have in the first round yet. So that can be a little tricky, because I mean, you can repeat songs, you could do the same song again, but I would rather not. You want to show the judges that you're not stuck to 5 songs, that you know a lot of songs, you can do a lot of songs well. But saying that, most of my list for the second round is the same songs as the first round, except maybe a couple, because they have you send in 14, so you're going to send in an extra couple songs. And so you send in most of the same songs, but you just order them a bit differently. Ooh, you're finished. That one is always so tricky, because you just don't know what you're doing in the first round yet, but I think we got it. So, Suspicious Minds, How Great Thou Art, that's a new one. Poke Salad, Bridge, Love and Feelin', Hurt, My Way, Unchained, Can't Stop Loving You, Impossible Dream, Just Pretend, Mountain, What Now My Love, and Rags to Riches. So a lot of the same songs. And I actually put Just Pretend on my first list too, instead of What Now My Love at the bottom. That's a great song, and I kind of just forgot about it. But these are the lists, and yeah, and now it's just up to the order and what you get. Tomorrow we're leaving to go down to Collinsville, so tonight we're getting everything packed up. The suit I'm wearing this weekend is the eyelet suit here. It is absolutely one of my favorite suits. Elvis wore it in Madison Square Garden, 1972, and it's super iconic. I love all of the squares and the white and the red, everything here. I just got it back from getting altered a little bit. Got it taken in. It's starting to be a little bit loose, and now it fits perfectly, and I cannot wait to wear it. I love this suit. Of course, have to have the cape. This end of the show that I'm a part of, there's going to be a really, really, really cool thing with myself, a couple of other ETAs, and also the man himself, Elvis. By the time this comes out, you might have already seen it, but we all are going to have capes on, and Elvis up there on the screen is going to have one too, and it's going to be super cool. I'm always so worried one of these times I'm going to forget something when I pack, but knock on wood, I've remembered pretty much everything. I think the only time I forgot anything was when I think I forgot my makeup once. So luckily, Kaylin, my wife, was with me, and I could use hers. Otherwise, I just had to go to the store. But I've never forgotten boots or a belt or a jumpsuit, at least yet. Made it here to Collinsville. The Illinois Elvis Festival is awesome. Produced by ETA Fest. Cody Danath and his whole team put it on, and each year it just gets better and better. It's always great to be here. It's a rough drive. There's a lot of rain on the drive down, but it's not raining anymore. It's about 4:30. Just got in and gonna rest, then maybe go get some food and see what happens. Wherever I travel, I always like to check out the antique stores, especially if Kaylin's traveling with me, which she was in Collinsville. We always like to go find a local antique store and see what we can find in there. We have a lot of fun doing that. You can never truly say you're antiquing until you find something. Elvis. we're really into, anything mid-century, that era. Obviously, Kaylin loves fairy lamps. I also look for, different scarves, kind of like what Elvis wore in 1969, 1970 off stage. Sometimes I can find some pretty cool stuff there. But, any of the swung vases, fairy lamps, any of the mid-century glass, we love that stuff. Decided to play here this afternoon at the festival, Illinois Elvis Festival. Love coming to Collinsville. This is the third year the festival has been here, and every year it's amazing. Fans here, super cool, and I know a lot of them because they come from the Chicago area or Indiana or somewhere around. So I have a lot of familiar faces here, and all the guys here this weekend all do a fantastic job, and it's a lot of fun being a part of it with all of them. I was happy I was able to be here. I was originally supposed to be on another gig, and it ended up not happening. So I texted Cody kind of last minute. It was in like February of this year, and I was like, hey man, I'd love to come to Collinsville, and if there was any room, because I'm sure you already had the shows made and all the performers booked and everything, and he booked me on a Saturday show doing Madison Square Garden. It's like my favorite stuff. I was like, he could have put me on a movie show or something and had me singing, Fun in Acapulco or Guadalajara or things like that, but luckily he's a nice guy. But yeah, the show this afternoon is gonna be very cool. There is the ending of it gonna be special. I don't want to spoil anything, but this will be coming out after after this is done anyway. But myself, Cody, Radney, Pennington, and Bill Cherry are gonna end the show singing Trilogy, and we're gonna end it singing it with Elvis. So Elvis is gonna be on the big screen. Elvis is gonna start the song, and we're gonna kind of trade off, and then Elvis is gonna come back in, and then we're all gonna end it together. And that's gonna be really cool. We rehearsed it last night. We're gonna rehearse it again this afternoon in about an hour, a couple hours before the show starts. And it was cool. I was watching it last night when we were rehearsing it, and it was like giving me chills and everything. So it's gonna be a showstopper for sure. I can't wait for that. It is a hot weekend here in Collinsville. The humidity feels like it's about at 150% outside. Go out and you are just immediately sweating. But the AC is working in the hotel, at least in the rooms, and so we're all good there. But man, it's hot. Next week I have a couple of outdoor shows, and you're always hoping for good weather, especially this time of year. If it can be below 90 degrees, then you are in good shape, because man, it's hot right now everywhere in the US. It's hot. This festival is interesting because it's always, a little bit before Elvis week, and the setup of the venue is almost like identical to Graceland and to how they do it at the Ultimate. And so it's a fun little warm up to get yourself ready for what happens at Graceland, because the stage setup, the screens on the side, the whole rows of chairs and everything, it's just like Memphis. And this year it's only 3 weeks until Memphis. Today, Saturday, it's exactly 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, contest will be starting, and so it's always fun to do this festival and kind of have a little bit of a warm up for Elvis week. And there's a lot of people who come here that'll come to Elvis week too. So you see a lot of the same faces as well. anytime that I can do a 1972 or Madison Square Garden recreation show, it's always amazing. I love doing that. And that's because, that's what I saw when I was a kid that made me really, really get into Elvis, was that era. Elvis on Tour, 1972, the Madison Square Garden shows, obviously. And, after that, it was just, I've been an Elvis fan for the rest of my life, a huge Elvis fan, and it was because of that era. And so, anytime that I can, recreate that on stage, it's always a big treat for me because, I'm just like living my childhood dream out. It's really, really amazing. This show was awesome too because Steve Lorico, bass player here in the band, brought his huge vintage Sun bass cabinet on stage, and his Polk Salad solo about blew me off the stage. You could feel the air getting moved. It was pretty cool. But that is my, my bread and butter, my favorite stuff that Elvis ever did, that tour, that era. And so anytime I get to do that on stage, it's really, really a treat for me. Just got back from Collinsville. It was a very, very, very good weekend. If anyone who's watching this was there, thank you for coming out, and I really hope you enjoyed the show. I picked up some cool items here from John Daly. He always has some amazing stuff at his booth. I love anything Elvis on tour, obviously. And so I got a couple of pictures here from Elvis on tour in the red Burnin' Love suit and the white fireworks suit. Cool vintage pictures, and then also a cool souvenir Elvis sold out on tour map that has a bunch of different cities where he played, and we also got something else fun in the mail. I'm gonna try it on for you in a little bit, but first I'm gonna shower because it's been a long day. That's what came in the mail today. Tonight it is one of the outfits that I was trying out for Elvis Week for either the showcase or the meet and greet. I'm probably going to wear it, I would think, for the showcase. It's a good stage outfit, I feel like, rather than photos with everybody. This is the second outfit I've tried on. There was one that did not go well. It was a cool idea. Once I put it on though, I didn't like how it fit, and it just didn't turn out how I was planning. So this is the second outfit. It's kind of similar to Elvis's If I Can Dream suit, but with a more modern twist to it. And that's what I try and go for with the Elvis Week outfits. It's something Elvis-y, but something maybe that Elvis would be wearing nowadays. Try and get the two eras together. But it needs to get ironed, of course. I did a quick steam on it before this, but so far, I think I like it. You may see it at Elvis Week.
When I first realized Jimmy had something special with this Elvis performance was actually down here in the basement. And I was sitting in the sectional couch over there, and he was singing Elvis, and he was singing My Way. And he was just singing that ballad so great and just gazing off in the distance like Elvis and just putting that Elvis vibe on. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this guy has it. My boy has it for Elvis.
Right now we're heading down to Remington, Indiana to a show that I do every year. It's at this thing called the Fountain Park Chautauqua. And it's been going on every year, the same 2 weeks, since like 1860 something or 1870 something, way back. And it's basically a 2-week thing with these people. They come out to this. It's like a campground type thing. You can bring your campers, or they have cabins that you can stay in, and they have entertainment for the whole 2 weeks every day, and other activities too. And entire families come out, and like the kids go out and they play all day. And one bad thing is I don't think any of the cabins are allowed to have air conditioning or something here to keep it like traditional. So I feel bad for the people because it's like in the middle of July, so it's like the hottest time of year in Indiana. But it's a fun show. It's more of a local, smaller type thing, but this year it's kind of a hybrid tracks and band show. So we're going to be playing the tracks, but I'll have a few backup vocalists and keyboardists and stuff. And so we'll do, kind of some with tracks and some with more of like a stripped down acoustic Elvis type thing. Which is really fun because it's different. It's something that I don't do that much. But also this show, I provide the sound for it too. So we load up everything, bring it down, and set up sound. So I'm really working for my money on this show. But it should be a good time.
Check TV, 1, 2. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good. Okay. Huh? Yes.
This show was a fun one. It's always fun going to Remington and being part of this festival, but this year it was especially interesting because we were doing a hybrid band and tracks show. We'd never done it before, and we tried it, and I was super nervous, just that the timing and everything would match up and we wouldn't ever get off. And luckily, maybe not luckily, we're just good musicians and good singers, but we everything went very well, and it was a lot of fun. It was something different, but I really did enjoy it. The humidity was at about 95% though, so it was a sticky night.
We hope to see you again next year. Off to the right, Jimmy will be out there shortly. We got Freedom. We'll be right out there. Thank you and good night.
My favorite song that Jimmy performs now, probably, you got My Way, you got the ballads, but probably my favorite one yet is Polk Salad Annie. When he gets in that whole Elvis mode, I don't believe anyone in the world does Elvis like Jimmy with Polk Salad Annie.
My favorite song Jimmy performs is We Can Make the Morning. That's my favorite song ever, and he can hit those high notes and so much power and passion, and that's definitely my favorite. And when he was younger, my favorite was Poke Salad when he was little, because he knew all the moves and he loved his hair be flying. It was blonde at that time, and that was my favorite back when he was little.
This show, we're back in my wheelhouse with the whole band and everything. It's funny how much different you feel when you really don't ever play with tracks. And you do a show with tracks, and it's like you're being tested almost on how much you know, because you got to follow them. They don't follow you. But being back on stage with the full band the next night was, it was like a breath of fresh air. This was another 95% humidity night. It was on and off storms all day long. Luckily for the show, the rain pretty much held off. But hey, it's the middle of July in Indiana. It's going to be humid and lots of storms. I don't know why I did so many movers in this song either, in this set. This was the first show in about 2 years that I wore the pyramid suit. It needed to be altered. And I finally got it done, along with a few other suits, and so it was nice to wear that jumpsuit again, because it's one of my favorites. It's really, really cool looking. It's very simple, but sometimes the simpler suits are better.
Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce you to this fantastic band over here, ladies and gentlemen, the Change of Habit Tribute Band. For the good times. This one here wasn't originally on the set list, but my father-in-law is here, and this is one of his favorite songs. And he was at a show last night, and I didn't do it, and so I kind of feel like I owe it to him. But this is one here that one of the songs that Elvis won his Grammy for. It's called "How Great Thou Art." Oh my God.
Well, this showed up. Originally, I ordered this when I ordered my other outfit for Elvis Week, the white outfit, and it came in, but the sizing was all weird and it was messed up and it was way too big. So sent it back and ordered another one and didn't know if it was going to come in time, but it just came today, which is good because it's like exactly almost a week until I leave for Elvis Week. So this is another outfit. It's pretty cool. I'm a big guitar guy, so I love James Burton, obviously. So kind of the pink paisley look is kind of like his, signature guitar. But yeah, this one you will most likely see at Elvis Week as well.
So I think my proudest moment for Jimmy is when he won the Dream King contest in Las Vegas at the International, where Elvis performed. He got to perform on the same stage as Elvis, got to go backstage and see where Elvis once walked, and he won that contest, and I was really proud and happy for him that he got that award.
My proudest moment of Jimmy's Elvis career so far, has got to be, yes, he's a world champion, Images of the King winner. That was a really big deal to me. And to him, I know, and everybody. But I know the Ultimate's coming up. But to get second place in the Ultimate and third place in the Ultimate, that's got to be my proudest moment so far with him, to be able to keep climbing and keep striving. And I know one of these days, hopefully this year, he will get to that first place.
Well, guess what? Elvis Week is here. I leave in 2 days to go down to Memphis, and the excitement is really setting in. It's like I can't think about anything else. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to get down there, be with everybody, and celebrate Elvis. And it's gonna be a great time. I can't wait. I can't wait. I actually just got my songs too that I'm gonna be singing, but I'm gonna leave that as a surprise, so nobody knows until I come out. But I know that I said this was going to be a 2-part documentary, but actually we had so much stuff that we wanted to film and that we filmed that's going to be 3. So this is coming out like the day before I go down to Memphis, or the day I do go down in Memphis, and because we're going to have so much stuff during Elvis Week to film that it would just be too long. So we separate it into 3 parts now, so you guys get more, which I'm excited about, and I'm sure you guys are too. And but very excited. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just honored to be in this position, and I'm so lucky to be where I am, and it's all because of you guys and your support for Elvis and support for myself, and it means everything to me. And so at Elvis Week this year, I'm going to really soak it all in, and if 5-year-old me could see where I've been and what I've done, where I'm at now, I think he'd be going crazy, freaking out, because in first grade, when we all had a book when we signed it, and we said stuff about ourselves, and what do you want to be when you grow up? And of course, I wanted to be doing Elvis. And all these years later, that's what I'm doing, and I couldn't be happier, and I couldn't thank you all enough, because you're the reason I get to do what I do. And so this Elvis Week, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna do it for Elvis, and gonna do it for little 5-year-old me. I used to be standing on a chair singing Elvis, and I just absolutely can't wait to get down to Memphis, see you all, and to get on stage.